happens to all of us. When you land in Spain from another continent, one of the first things that many of you want is to connect to the internet. We all want that connection to be able to resolve many aspects related to the trip, and the free Wi-Fi at the airport is not always enough. In today's video, we're going to explain you how to solve this problem at the airport and in the city of Madrid. Hello, hola, ¿qué tal? I am Tony Galvez from Road Trip Spain and Portugal, where we help you plan the perfect trip with practical information and insider tips. A basic clarification: in Spain we talk about a tarjeta SIM or simply a SIM. In today's video we are going to look at 4 very basic things: what you should look for in the SIM card, which operators we recommend, where to buy a SIM card at Madrid Airport, and where to buy a SIM card in Madrid city center. Let's start with a quick disclaimer. We gain absolutely nothing by recommending this or that shop or operator. We do it because we think they are the best options for you, to whom we have a commitment. Let's start by talking about the SIM card. There are countless types, sizes, colors and prices. Therefore, the information you should get when you go to buy yours is: which company is it from, and we'll talk about that in a moment. What is the amount of data included on the card? That's a critical piece of information. Talk minutes are relatively unimportant unless you are the type of person who spends all your time talking on holiday. It's the amount of data that really matters, because you can always call on WhatsApp without spending talk minutes. And of the total data included, you need to find out how many gigabytes are available for roaming in Europe, which we'll talk about in a second. How long is the card valid for? If you use up the data credit, can you top it up? How much would it cost? And then you need to know if it includes roaming in the European Union, if you are planning to visit another country on the same trip. This roaming allows you to go to France, Italy or Germany, for example, and still use the same SIM card as if it were on a mobile phone with a local SIM. When we travel in the European Union with our Spanish mobile phones, we do not change the SIM card. Our card is valid in all the countries where roaming works. Let's talk about companies. There are many mobile phone operators in Spain, but if you want to play it safe in terms of performance and above all coverage, both in Spain and in other European countries, choose Orange, a French operator, or Vodafone, a British operator, both of which have a presence in Spain and many other countries. The shops we're going to mention sell Orange and Vodafone SIMs. Okay, we are at the airport. As with almost anything you buy at an airport, you may end up paying a higher price for the SIM card than in the city. So if saving money is the most important thing for you, travel to your accommodation, get settled and go out and buy the SIM card in the center of Madrid, in the places we will explain in a moment. Let's talk about terminals T1 and T4, where you will be arriving if your flight originates from a country outside Europe. In Terminal 1 on level O, the arrivals level, just outside the open part of the airport, there is a shop selling SIM cards. If you arrive at T4S, you will have to travel by train to T4. Take a look at the video explaining how to do it. At Terminal 4, you have 2 options. On level O arrivals, turn left as soon as you come out into the open part of the airport. There is a shop selling SIM cards. And on level 2 departures, between the airline check-in desk and the security checkpoint, there is a shop where SIM cards are also sold. If for whatever reason you don't want or cannot buy a SIM card at the airport, don't worry, there are many Orange and Vodafone shops all over the city. And in the heart of Madrid, in Puerta del Sol, there is a Vodafone shop and an Orange shop almost next to each other. And inside Atocha, the main railway station on the lower floor, to the left of the access to the lower boarding of the high-speed train, there is a shop where SIM cards are also sold. Remember that to buy a SIM card you may be asked for your passport. With all that, you should be ready to surf the internet. You may have noticed that we haven't mentioned SIM cards that can be bought before leaving your country. They tend to be recommended a lot by influencers and YouTubers, as they receive a small commission every time you buy a SIM card through their links. There's nothing wrong with that, but often when they recommend a service, they tend to ignore there are other alternatives as well. From what we have seen, none of those cards are more advantageous than the one you can buy when you arrive in Spain. They are usually more expensive than a card bought here, which for between 15 and 30 euros should solve your needs. And it is not always possible to know which networks these cards use when you use them in Spain. And we assure you the coverage of the different operators is far from similar, which is why we recommend Orange and Vodafone, which have strong coverage. But if you value more the convenience of leaving your country carrying your SIM card than the savings you can obtain by buying it in Madrid, go ahead with it. It may also be that your operator in your country offers good conditions for using your number in Europe, so check with them before you travel to see if it's worthwhile to sign up for a plan. We have not mentioned in the video specific prices or packages for two reasons. Because there is an infinite number of SIM cards for sale, each with different prices, and mainly because offers and products are constantly changing. If we were to recommend that you buy card X from operator Y for so many euros, and that offer was not available within a few weeks of uploading the video, we would have done you a disservice. That's why we think it's better to tell you what you should look for in a card, where to buy it, so that when it comes time to buy it, you'll be able to assess which one best suits your needs. Calculate that for around 20 euros you should be able to solve your internet needs for 15 days. If you want to share your experience, the product you used in the comments box, I'm sure other followers of the channel will be very grateful. Your trip to Madrid doesn't end here. You will have to leave the airport, and on the screen you should be watching our essential guide to transportation from Madrid airport. We'll see you there.